Hi, I'm Sean Waterman with FedScoop TV, and we're here at the Security Through Innovation Summit. I'm joined by Curtis Dukes, who's the Director for Information Assurance at the National Security Agency. Welcome, Curtis, welcome.
Thank you, Sean.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Okay. So today we're talking about security and obviously the NSA, big responsibilities in that department. How do you partner with the private sector to do your mission of information assurance, and how does trust, how important is trust in that relationship?
So trust is absolutely very important in a relationship anytime you partner with industry. NSA has had a long and distinguished history of working with industry, primarily with U.S. industry, but with a global nature. We're actually looking at international companies as well. The key point for us is that I represent the information assurance mission, so we're there to try to make their products better. We're there to help them build security into their products, and so I think they acknowledge that and they understand that, and we've actually had a very good relationship with the industry.
And obviously many lessons to be learned from the hack of OPM databases that was revealed last year. What, in your view, is the most important takeaway from that? Now, you know, with the benefit of hindsight now, looking back, what's the most important takeaway?
Yeah, I would say it's. I think there was a disparity in resource applied to the security part of information technology. What I mean by that is that if you look at the actual number of staff that were actually managing and administering the OPM databases. And then the ones that actually were trying to apply security principles to that, I think it was an imbalance in resources in that regard. The other key point there is that when you've got fewer IT staff that actually are administering those networks, they don't have the time because, again, they're trying to just maintain the databases on a daily basis. They don't have the time to actually apply patches and make sure the configuration of those databases is secure. And I think that was the big lesson learned in this regard. And I think you now see us kind of trying to do a rebalance on applying the right resources to the security side of IT.
So a greater fraction, as it were, of the IT resource pie going to security.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Let's talk about innovation. That's what we're here to discuss at the summit. What role do you see for innovation in the future of cybersecurity, and what are you doing in IAD, in the Information Assurance Directorate, to to produce those innovations, to innovate? In fact.
Yeah. So I see it along two lenses. One lens is being an early adopter of cutting-edge technology that's being developed out in areas like Silicon Valley, up in the New England Tech Hub as well. And then the other areas is internal to the agency, actually is moving away from long acquisition cycles to actually building and producing capabilities quicker, and delivering them to our customers. In my case, it would be the warfighter, and then also national security system customers. With internal to NSA, I've created a Chief Innovation Officer in my directorate. About a year ago, I gave him 90 days to come up with how we would actually start innovating more within my directorate. We are early adopters of I-Core, which is a National Science Foundation capability for how you would go about doing startups and building an entrepreneurial spirit that has been embraced by Silicon Valley and any of the innovation tech hubs, and so we're actually adopting that within my directorate. I allow a percentage of my workforce, if they've got a good idea and they can write it down in a business canvas, And then they'll be given 6 weeks with a small staff to actually develop a first article or a minimal viable product. And then they can pitch it to my leadership team, and we only make a decision either to sustain it in-house or to outsource it. Outsourcing being either we reach a relationship with a commercial company, or possibly just put it out on an open source repository and allow anyone else to take it and build from it in that regard. So it's been very successful in the last year. We've created 15 mission teams. And that have actually done this 6-week, and they've actually starting to adopt, that spirit. And the key point here is again to provide innovation at mission speed in this regard.
And how many of those 15, if I can just follow up, how many of those 15 have pitched to the leadership and gone on to be fully fledged, products or missions or programs?
Yep. So all 15 get to pitch to us. Out of that 15, a handful, on the order of 3 to 5, actually we've taken it to the next stage, which is an additional 90 days for them to either refine the product or to develop a transfer mechanism to actually outsource it in that regard. Of those handful, 2 we actually are maintaining in-house, and the reason we do that is because of the area of the mission that it applies to. It's an area that inherently governmental, and I have to maintain it in-house. But the other areas, we're outsourcing it and just making it freely available in that regard. I think that helps not only the National Security Agency, but also the United States and also other nations to be able to adopt and take that and build off of it.
Well, cyberspace is great for everyone, right?
It is, absolutely.
So, finally, let's talk about a pendulum. And I know a lot of people in the intelligence community see this pendulum effect with regard to after 9/11. It was all about connecting the dots. It wasn't need to know, it was need to share. Do you feel that as a result of some of the events over the last few years, do you think that pendulum has swung back? I mean, does it need to? Did it go too far? Was there too much sharing? What's your view on where we came out of that?
Yeah, I think it is actually coming back. I think after 9/11, there was a need to fully connect systems to actually be able to provide intelligence in a timely manner. But the downside of that, and I think OPM is an example, where you have a very richly connected set of networks, and all the adversary has to do is find that weakest network, and then once you're in there, you've got an established trust relationship, and then you can actually move laterally across multiple networks. And I think based off OPM, it's going to swing back. Doesn't mean we're still not going to be richly connected. It's just that we're going to ask our first and second and third order questions before we actually do allow the connection, and then we're actually going to do I hope we're going to do a better job in actually monitoring those interfaces between different systems.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
To coin a phrase.
You got it.
Curtis, thank you so much for coming along. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
I'm Sean Waterman, and that was FedScoop TV.